In 2013, a prominent Las Vegas trust litigation law firm engaged me to assist in a case brought by beneficiaries of a multi-generational family trust valued at $1.7 billion. The defendants were individual family patriarch co-trustee and Wells Fargo as the corporate co-trustee. The beneficiaries of the trust were fourth-generation family members. Trustee, in their discretion, determined the amount of income to be distributed annually to the beneficiaries that were derived from the operating income of the family business held in the trust. The family business is a highly successful global service provider. The fourth generation beneficiary class was the first generation in which some beneficiaries had children and others did not. The trustees were bound by the duty of impartiality to consider the circumstances of the current and remainder beneficiaries in their administration of the trust. The plaintiffs in the case were income beneficiaries without children. The defendant trustees administered the trust and favored those income beneficiaries with children at the expense of the beneficiaries that did not have children. By limiting the annual income distributions and accumulated income through the LLC, the trustee established with court approval for the purposes of diversifying the trust. However, the real purpose of the LLC was to establish the equivalent of a sinking fund to accumulate income to pay the ultimate tax owed by the remainder beneficiaries at the time the trust distributed the principal and accumulated income to the ultimate remainder beneficiaries. The plaintiff beneficiaries agreed to the original LLC purpose 15 years prior for the purposes of providing greater diversification of the trust. However, over time, they came to realize over half of the annual distributable income was actually accruing to their cousin's children's benefit as it was distributed to the LLC. Two income beneficiaries were childless and sued the trustee and said, hey, listen, we're not going to get the benefit of that money. You're holding it for some future generation because the trust would probably terminate after their life expectancy. We worked with counsel on the case. There were 5 experts. I wrote an expert report, rebuttal report, and testified in deposition on the fiduciary duty owed by the trustee to all income beneficiaries and the duty of impartiality the trustees were required to administer the trust under, considering the circumstances of all income beneficiaries. It was clear, in my opinion, that the LLC created originally for the purpose of diversification of the trust portfolio would not accomplish the intended purpose, as the corpus of the trust grew dramatically based on the success of the family operating business and its rapid appreciation in value. After plaintiff expert depositions were completed, the plaintiff and defendant trustees settled the case under the supervision of the Clark County, Nevada Probate Court, requiring an IRS letter ruling to mitigate current and future tax implications for the future administration of the trust.